Hey, yo, what it do, motherfucker? Hey, yo, right now, I'm driving this motherfucking I-8. And I'm finna give y'all motherfucking how I feel about it, niggas. You gonna listen, why? Cause I motherfucker says so, little cracker. Give a fuck, motherfucker. No, but anyways, I want to give my opinion of this fucking pretty awesome car. I've owned a lot of fucking BMWs. I just sold a 650s, glad to get rid of. Although it seemed fat, it was fast as fuck. It ate gas like it was fucking, I don't know. It wasn't a German. I don't know. It was like fucking ate gas like an American muscle car. Best I could do was 18 miles a gallon. This car on a completely different level. This is the first BMW I actually love. I love to drive. I'm getting fucking 60 miles a gallon. Right? I mean, I just had it in sport mode for a while, so I'm getting 56.6. And that's what's incredible about it. It's a fucking hybrid. It's light as hell. Carbon fiber body on aluminum frame. And so what does that do? Unlike the 650, I have to drive around, be pissed off at every stop sign, that I have to waste all the kinetic energy, waste my brakes, waste my motor and all, the turbo boost and whatever else, just because they want to put a whole bunch of stop signs. And if some cop sees me not coming to a complete stop, he's going to write me up for a stupid infraction that didn't endanger anyone, while the Congress gets to take cut federal funding of roads so we can have unsafe roads where thousands of Americans are dying each year, but nobody's looking at them. The cops enforcing the law against the sheep, basically, and not against the people who need some regulation and are supposed to serve us, but instead are serving the interests of corporations and actually making us serve them. So this car frees me from that. I can come to a stop, and that kinetic energy through regenerative braking is going to be stored, at least the majority of it, for my post-brake acceleration. So that's why it's fucking great. I watch these other that's one reason. I watch these other YouTube videos where these dumbasses that somehow have a bunch of money are like, I don't care about and it's a hybrid, and I don't need to save gas, so I just keep it in sport. Like, motherfucker, stop thinking about yourself. It's not about how much you can afford. It's about limiting your carbon footprint. If you don't believe in global warming, you're probably the same guy that didn't believe that cigarettes harmed people 20 years ago. I get it. You're a fucking sheep. I get it. But you got to be a dumbass to not believe that the wars in the Middle East are motivated by oil. Women and children are dying right now because of our consumption of petroleum. And though there's many factors that play a part, motor vehicles, gas combustion engines are a big part of it. And so limiting that should make you feel good. Limiting your need on that evil industry, which has basically usurped our military industrial complex and turned America into a fucking oil company with an army. So that's one reason why I like this. It's not just that it's a hybrid. I can still play around. I see yesterday I saw a Viper on the freeway, popped it into sport and played around. And then I could go right back to being a fucking Prius. But it's not just a Prius, because it looks like a fucking spaceship with butterfly doors. So it feels awesome. But not only that, it's super light, especially for being a hybrid. So you're not, when you do use the brakes, you're not going to be using them as much as if it was a fucking 5,000 pound car. The actual discs and everything, the wear and tear that's being produced is less, because there's not as much weight, not as much kinetic energy that you have to push around, which is another reason that makes it super efficient, and also super fun, handling wise, everything else. I mean, it feels incredibly awesome, and it's why I rather drive this than some fucking backwards thinking Ferrari or Lamborghini, like, hey, look at me, I have a lot of money and I don't give a fuck about anything else. I just completely absorbed with myself and I'm awesome, right? I have this fucking super expensive car that gets 12 miles a gallon, but it looks really cool, or whatever, Bentley or Rolls Royce. Fuck all those cars. This is a future. This car is looking forward, and I applaud BMW for finally putting its foot down and doing something nice. And this, of course, this is like a prototype, and the next generation is going to be off the fucking chain. But I still like supporting this venture, and I would have this car, which retails as is at like $154, and you can get a lot cheaper used than some $300 or more $1,000 fucking Lamborghini gas guzzler. So that's one thing. Another thing, just the features. The iDrive in this car they're finally streamlined. The new BMWs, and if you got to get all the features with the i8. It's a little bit different than most BMWs, where you don't buy individual features. You just buy a few different packages, and everything else is standard. But yeah, great car. Feels great. Get multiple compliments every day. You feel good. Well, I feel good because I'm not a sheep, and I know that it's not good to be burning, fossil fuels if you don't have to. And as is, I mean, I can make it to work like all electric, and if I keep it in comfort, it's I can go to work and back on 70 something miles a gallon, and it's nice. It's incredibly quiet when you drive it. System sounds incredibly good. Everything syncs in the iDrive easy. It doesn't have cooled seats, but the seats are pretty skinny, and they're like Italian style super skinny seats, and they are heated at least, so it's all good. I wish it had blind spot monitoring. Maybe BMW wanted us to have some more accidents. There's less of these on the road. I don't know. That's one thing that definitely should be included. It does have driver assistance. It's nothing I've ever experienced thus far. It's, and for that, I mean, this is the best car I've driven all around, but in some cases, surely the Tesla is better, especially when it comes to autopilot. You got that big touch screen that you can, surf Google while you're on autopilot on the freeway. I mean, it is an incredible experience for a commuting car, a family car. Tesla's the way to go. But if you're driving around, it's just you or you and one other person, or even if you have a little kid, you got back seats in here, unlike most other not practical supercars. So again, it's awesome. People say it's hard to get into. I think it's incredibly easy compared to my 650. It's easy to get into and out of, because I could just sit on the big ass bar right there. I just sit on that, as opposed to sitting on the seats, messing up the seats, scratching the seats with the buttons on my pants or whatever. I mean, for whatever reason, it's easier to get in and out of than my 650 if you know how to do it. Sit your butt down and move over. Same with getting out. You swing your legs over and just lever yourself off of that excessively large carbon fiber door jamb. You got heads-up display. It's always giving you the speed limit of the area you're in, which is great, especially if you're not trying to break the law. Shifted it into sport, you just bam. Now I'm in sport mode, and sport mode actually charges the vehicle, so you can charge the car at your house, drive it. If it gets low, pop it into sport for a while, charge it back up. Especially if you're wanting to play around, and then go back into comfort mode, or eDrive is all electric. And the thing about it, so unlike a regular car, which you have to brake, you constantly braking, using your brakes, using your your engine, your gas-powered engine, all the excessive wear that comes with the traffic, especially if you're in California. With the hybrid, with the regenerative braking, you know, again, you're saving that energy. And you know, the downside, people say, oh, you have a battery, you have to replace it. Well, guess what? Lithium-ion battery technology is advancing like every 6 months. And so, yeah, I'm gonna have to replace it in whatever, 8-10 years. But when I do, it's gonna be a better battery, which means I can release more horsepower from these motors, and I can get more. I can get more light. I can increase my distance of how far the battery will take me. So the capacity of them just gonna keep going up, or at least it's not hit its pinnacle. And so I kind of look forward to getting a new battery. It's gonna make the car better. It's gonna make the car not only faster, but it's gonna increase the range. So it's positives. And when you get new brakes, it's pretty much only down from there, you know? You can get BMW brakes, and it's fucking, you just paid thousands of dollars or whatever for the same fucking thing. Or you can get aftermarket brakes that are probably even shittier. Of course, there's exceptions, but anyways, just want to give my quick take, my quick rant on the car. It's a pretty awesome car. I know I'm leaving some things out, but overall, I love it. Have a good day.